Good evening, Ghana. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy, and I'm happy to come into your homes tonight. Now on Confessions, people get to share stories that they dare not share with any individual. You at home and myself, we take the opportunity to learn from their mistakes so that going forward, we will do better. It's always joyful, it's always exciting, it's always such a learning experience. Tonight is no different. I ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. My studio audience are ready, so are my counselors. We're going to have a great time. Don't go away, I'll be right back. This is Confessions on TV3. The gentleman is ready to share his story, his confession with us. And he told me that in summary, he sinned without knowing, and yet he's been haunted on a daily basis. I want to know the details of your sin and share your confessions with us.
All right, thank you, Miss Nancy. So, somewhere on the 3rd of June, 2015, when that rain, the gas explosion at Circle that killed a lot of people.
May the souls we lost rest in perfect peace.
Amen. So I was driving towards Kolegono. I was going to pick my cousin who was also stuck in the rain. He had a smaller car, so he couldn't drive through the rain. I was going to pick him up at Russia in Accra.
Okay.
So when I got to the main post office, the main Accra post office, there was actually traffic because nobody was using the Circle route.
Okay.
Someone knocked on my car window and asked, please, can I get a lift? It was a lady. I rolled down the windows a little to see who it was. And she was completely wet from head to toe from the rain. I was skeptical whether to pick her or not because I was thinking she's coming to wet my seats and everything. But another side of me asked me to offer the help.
That was kind.
I asked her to sit, opened the door for her, she sat down. I asked where she's going, she said she's going to Kolegono.
Okay.
And it was on the same route, so fine, that works, I'll drop her. She saw my work ID hanging in my rearview mirror, and she asked what I do. I told her what I do, and she says she works in a church, so she organizes events and programs for the church, and she may need my service.
Okay.
So to her, it was God that even brought me.
Of course.
I gave her my number after, and also obviously for her to say thank you the next day.
Of course.
We spoke. She called the following day after I dropped her, went to pick my cousin, and told him, oh, okay, I met this lady, I picked her up and everything, because he asked why the seat was wet.
Was wet.
The next day she called, we spoke, she was very grateful. We kept on talking after. And things led to, one thing led to the other. At a point, she would call me during lunchtime. She's on lunch break from work. She'll come and pick me, maybe from my office. We go and eat.
Wow.
Sometimes we even go shopping.
Together?
Yes. And the best part of it was on her pocket.
Oh.
Yes. She said she was trying to say thank you for what I had done for her. So yes, I accepted it. As human as we were, things got even more intimate.
Okay.
And yes, so at a point she will call me during lunchtime, she will come, we'll go and eat together.
Love brewed on the 3rd of June.
We'll go together to maybe my house, because my house was free. She said she lives in the church house, so she won't be able to take anyone there.
The mission house.
We'll go to the house, do whatever it is that we would have to do. It was just one day that I was checking on social media, I was checking on Instagram, then I saw her picture on a friend's page. The friend is a photographer.
Okay.
So when I saw the picture on my friend's page, that was an old schoolmate, I asked him, do you know this lady? And Miss Nancy, he said, oh yes, that's my junior pastor's wife.
Your lover is actually married and to a pastor?
Yes. He said, that's the junior pastor's wife. So I'm like, no, this is the lady I'm talking about. And I mentioned her name. And he said, oh yes, he was a photographer at their wedding. I was silent for a very, very long while. I can't remember, but I just didn't know what to say or what to tell him at the point. And I'm thinking, is it really the lady I'm talking about, or I am wrong somewhere? or she's a ghost. So many questions came up in my mind at the moment. But after like 2 days, I went back to him and asked him, you said this lady is your junior pastor's wife, and you were the photographer. How long have they been married? He said 3 years.
And how long had you known her?
We were doing that for almost 8 months or so.
Wow. But at the point where you found out she was married, you were done with her or you were still with her?
We were still seeing each other.
Wow.
But after I got to know she was married, I didn't know how to handle it because it was a first. I sent her a message and told her I needed to talk to her about something.
Okay.
She couldn't make it because she was busy. I couldn't keep the patience enough to wait for her to make it so I confronted her. Okay. And I remember the first thing I said is, so you know you're married and you're doing this with me. To her, I am trying to blackmail her. To her, I am trying to extort money from her. She got defensive all of a sudden.
Really?
She got very, very defensive. And as impatient as I was at the moment, I also told her my mind. I then, with the anger and everything, told my photographer friend, this is what is happening.
You just needed to get it off your chest.
So I told my friend, and he was like, okay, this is unbelievable. No, he doesn't know this lady to be that type, and she's a pastor's wife, and they are very, very happy. They are very happy, and they've been married for the past 3 years, and they are a point of example when they are talking to other younger pastors and everything. But after like 2 or 3 hours, someone called. It was a strange number. The person called and said he's a pastor at the church the church in question.
Which means the photographer told another person. Wow.
Which I didn't expect him to.
Okay.
He said he's a pastor in that church, and my photographer friend told them what the problem is. But they haven't spoken to anybody. What he would say is, with he and a group of pastors, they would like to meet me in person.
Okay.
So we talk about this, we discuss this.
I'm sure you were going to meet the church board or the council of elders or the deacons.
But Miss Nancy, here's the case. I realized what I have done, although I was ignorant about it. And I remember growing up, I lost my dad when I was 12.
Okay.
But what I remember is when we are having our conversations, I'm my father's only son, so I'm actually his wallet. He takes me everywhere.
Yeah.
When we are having our conversations, he tells me, and I've heard him tell other people, Charlie, someone's wife, never go near it. Don't ever try it. So those were the words that were ringing in my mind when
your dad warned you about this, and you unintentionally got yourself into it.
At a point, I was trying to make an excuse, as in, okay, I didn't know. Now that I know, I'm going to stop. But they say ignorance of the law is no excuse. So it's actually a sin. And the lady didn't find a problem with what she did. She felt I was, okay, now that I know, I'm trying to, but I haven't asked her for anything. I'm not, I just want to clear whatever it is. And I realized for some time now, my work hasn't really been as stable as it used to be. The car that I even went to pick her with, I've lost it. Things are not really working as they're supposed to be. And for, I think it's 8 years now, because that was in 2015.
Yeah.
Things are not really working as they're supposed to. And I had a feeling, I have a feeling it could be from I actually didn't go to the church.
Yeah.
Because I was scared. I don't know what
You did not go meet the elders
I didn't go.
Whoever it was that called you.
Because I didn't know what they were going to do to me.
But you have a feeling that things are not going on well because you did what your daddy told you not to do.
Because
you
of
did
that.
what society is against. You did what the Bible speaks clearly against. That do not covet another man's wife. And that is exactly what he did. Even though he did not covet, it was offered to him on a silver platter unknowingly. Thus is his confession. Let us go into the studio. My guests are ready. My counselors are ready. Let's see how we can help this young man. He sinned. It's an abomination. He just didn't know he was.